Adventures, outdoors people. Welcome back. Looking for a new hobby? Ever wonder what's beneath your feet if you just dug a little deeper? Well, might have a new hobby for you. Metal detecting. So stay tuned, because I'll tell you everything you need to know to get started.
You left me all alone, yeah, outside in the cold. Wanted to come over, wanted you to know how I'm getting over. Like a centerfold, your heart is fucking cold. I'm better off. I'm better off alone. I'm better off, alone. I'm better off alone.
Or excuse me, another great hobby, if you want to spend some time outdoors in the Pacific Northwest, would be metal detecting. It's pretty low impact, pretty low risk, pretty easy to do. Requires just a minimal investment in the beginning, and you can have hours and hours and hours of fun digging up trash. There's a lot of different reasons why people get into metal detecting. Maybe they want to find some treasure. Maybe they want to find trash. Maybe they want to find history. Maybe they want to reclaim something from time, an artifact perhaps. There's a couple different reasons why people do that. I think most of us who get into metal detecting are looking for a little bit of both. We want to dig up some history and hoping that we find some treasures, something cool like maybe a silver coin or a lost gold ring. You only need a few things to get started. Obviously, number one, you need a metal detector. You need a digging implement. What we like to call the Garrett Carrot. This is a pinpointer. So when you dig your hole, you can pinpoint exactly what you've detected, be it a small coin or maybe even a ring of some kind. It is helpful to have a tool bag with some extra batteries and stuff in it, a small hand digging shovel, as well as some waterproof gloves, because you're going to be getting in the dirt. Now I'll post some links for these beginner tool sets. Oftentimes you can get them in bundles with your metal detector. There's lots of different types of metal detectors out there. The one I happen to be using is what is called the Minelab Equinox 800. This is probably not top of the line, but it is up there. It's around $1,000. So if you're just getting into the hobby, $1,000 metal detector is probably not where you want to start. There are some middle grade metal detectors that a lot of my friends use. They still use them today. They are better metal detectorists than I am. One of the primary ones is the Garrett AT Pro. That one's coming in at around $600. So for around $400 to $700, you can get a complete bundle that includes your pinpointer, a bag, a hand shovel, and the metal detector all in one shot. The only thing you would probably have to buy separately is your primary digging implement. You don't necessarily need one like this. These are way overpriced for some reason. It's like 80 bucks for that shovel. That's ridiculous. You can go to Home Depot, get yourself a regular small spade for $15, $20, and that'll do you just fine. Why do you want a small spade? Do you want to be carrying a big shovel around? Oftentimes when you're metal detecting, it gives you an opportunity to go hiking in the wonderful forest. It gives you an opportunity to walk around city parks. You never know what you might find. I will tell you though, what you find more often than not is trash. Lots and lots of trash. So what do you need to know to get started? Well, first you need to know your local laws. There are ordinances within certain cities about places that you can and can't metal detect. I happen to be on private land here out in the middle of the forest. Some other things that are important to know is perhaps a little bit of history around that area. So for me, on this land here, this used to be a part of an old logging camp that operated in the late 1800s and was raised somewhere around 1942 is when they finally shut it all down. There are several satellite logging camps here in the forest. I've metal detected a few of them. The coolest things that I have found are the things that you least expect. So what would I expect to find here? Honestly, iron, railroad spikes, logging tools, chunks of saw blade, trash. Anywhere there's people, you're gonna find trash. It just is what it is. But you never know. Where there's people drop things too. What I find here will tell us a good story about the land and who was here and when they were here. And of course, I have my GoPro so that we can do what we in the business call a live dig. That way, if I find a good target and I dig it, you get to see it as I see it. So if you're interested in a few more tips and tricks, stay tuned and watch me scurry around this property, seeing if we can find something cool.
All right, let's get it. It's time to find that pirate booty. Get the booty. Find the booty. Pirate booty, that is.
Now, when you are metal detecting, you want to go in a sweeping motion, keeping the coil relatively flat to the surface, because once you start tilting, you start losing the zone of metal detecting. And this land is surprisingly quiet. I would have expected a lot more trash.
X marks the spot. Time to plunder the booty. Let's see if we can't do a live dig here.
So we don't see anything obvious. There are remnants of some iron in here. So it's likely what we're dealing with is just a chunk of trash. But we'll get some pinpointer action going. Aha. Something else you'd expect to find is old shell casings. Interesting. You never know. Gophers and moles like to push foreign objects out of their way. It's not terribly uncommon. Are those, what kind of tracks are those? Oh boy. Ooh, those are not coyote tracks. That's a big dog. That's a big dog. There's no wolves here, I don't think. Those are big dog prints. And when I was up here in the snow, I saw some really big dog prints. So we won't let that get us down. Well, adventurers, that is it for today. Didn't find much. Found some trash, a couple shell casings, and some slag. But we still got a chance to get out and enjoy the wonderful weather in the Pacific Northwest. Beautiful piece of property here that we get to play on to do this. But just because we haven't found anything today doesn't mean we won't find something the next time we go out. We only searched a portion of the property. We're gonna push our way to the other side of the property next time. So if you're interested in watching that, make sure you stay tuned and subscribe. And don't forget to like the video. As I said before, if you're interested in getting in the hobby, there's only a few things that you need to do for an initial investment. Obviously, you need a metal detector. Like I said, this one's a little more on the high end. also one of the more popular ones, but I will show you probably the most popular one. Links will be down below for this metal detector as well as the step beneath it. The few things that you do want to pay attention to when you're looking for a metal detector is get ones with headphones. You're definitely going to want headphones when you're in public parks. People don't want to hear the beeping. You don't want to hear the beeping. It's easier if it's in your headphones. You want it to be waterproof, obviously. And I prefer the digital display personally, as opposed to an analog dial display, but there are definitely some out there that work just fine. And I'll show you one of the more popular ones that people use to start getting into the hobby, which is the Garrett AT Pro. It's middle priced. I think it's between $500 and $600, and you can usually get them in a bundle. So obviously you need the metal detector with headphones. You need a digging device. I'll post the link for this one, but you don't need this specific one. You can get a $20 one at Home Depot. Like I said, this one was a little overpriced. What's nice about it is that it cuts through roots and things of that sort. You need a pinpointer. There are some cheaper ones out there, but the most popular and the most common one is what we call the Garrett Carrot, and that's this one. I believe, I don't want to say how much they are. I think they're about 80 bucks. You want a hand digging device? You can get these as a part of the bundle packages as well, and I'll make sure that I post those links. And then, of course, some sort of bag. Usually a bag comes with your bundle if you go that route. Links posted down below. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.